Short-term experience in ministry STEM is one of the established programs in Focus that gives fresh graduates an opportunity to serve God in the universities and colleges, church and society on a short-term basis, usually 1 year. For the last 31 years, more than 700 participants have gone through the STEM program. Faith Kasila has been working in North Rift region as a STEM staff for Eldoret Town CUs. Her day-to-day routine reflects the typical life of a STEM staff.
Yes, so this is my house, my very big, wonderful house. Yeah, it's very big, as you'll see. This kitchen might look small, but trust you me, it's very big because this single gas cooks, prepares a lot of meals, from meat to ugali to mboga, just a lot. And we feed over even 20 students, especially when they visit in large numbers. It's beautiful to just see how a small house can cause a great impact. Looks like more of the mustard seed analogy. This 3-seater coach can accommodate up to even 7 people because the people sit on the arm of the chair as well as this other side, and we get to share wonderful moments with students as we play games. This is always our gaming area. So this is my wonderful library. This is the wealth of knowledge. The great nudges of wisdom that I get to share. Most of them, I get them while seated on this desk. Also, this is my prayer box. It has so many things inside that I put, sticky notes. When someone shares their prayer item, I just write it down on a sticky note and I put it in here. And now during my prayer time, I come, pick it up and continue to pray with them. And this is my bedroom where I get to rest as I prepare for the next day. A typical day for a STEM staff is quite interesting. If you host students on a particular night, your day begins on another side. But if you are alone in your house, your day will definitely begin on another angle. So when I'm alone in the house, my day begins, I really wake up early in the morning. I am an early riser. Of course, that means I also sleep quite early. I wake up very early and I come to my desk where I pick my Bible and do some little devotions, and I plan my day. I have very many sticky notes on my walls that I put there for my daily activities. And so after a normal breakfast, I get my laptop and I start my normal duties, which may include a meeting in the morning, preparing for a training or even a sermon. And then majorly in the evenings, I spend much of that time with students. That is when I'm alone. So in the evening, I love to leave the house and go. If I have a sleepover here and I'm hosting students, it's interesting that this little house can host up to 18 people for a typical sleepover. And for some reason, I don't know how we arrange ourselves, but we manage to actually sleep. Everyone gets a spot to sleep. So when we are that many in the house and we're probably having a sleepover, when we wake up, we prepare uji. A lot of it, and we take it with my students as we get to share. And then, of course, the gents leave and the ladies refreshen up and they leave the house, and perhaps I escort them, or if maybe it was on a Friday, most of the Saturdays we always have events with the CU, so you dress up and you go and have wonderful moments with the students, which may involve retreats, sometimes trainings, and even sometimes just visiting associates around. So my day will depend on whether I have students around or I'm alone.
Noah Siokan has been working in the headquarters in the Corporate Communications Department as the STEM IT and has been working with KU Ruiru Campus.
My responsibility is usually to help in production of graphical works in Focus. First is I wake up, I usually try to wake up early, around 6 a.m. I would wake up, I would first go and take a shower before I do my devotions, because I would want to be very fresh. Then I would pick my tools of service, a laptop of course, and a bottle of water. When I'm not going to the CU, I will go to the office and look at my production schedule and see the posters that I am supposed to design. So I will design posters. If there are videos to be edited, I would edit them. And sometimes during the afternoon, I would do a STEM read. And later in the evening, I would come back to the STEM house.
The mansion.
Yeah, the small mansion. I think that is what I call my STEM house. It's very small, close to the office, and it's very far from my CU. I do not host most of my students, but it has been of help to the staff who come to focus, and they find themselves that they cannot get back to their stations because it's very late and they have to spend the night around. And so I have hosted quite a number of staff. At the time I hosted 3 staff in this small mansion.
Different STEM staff will have mixed reactions on invitation to join STEM, but upon accepting the call, Focus takes them through a carefully designed training that equips them for the journey ahead.
And during the induction, if I remember clearly, I think in a way it was us being affirmed of the call of joining STEM and being informed of what is required of us. And being told of where we would go to serve. The whole induction was just preparing us for service.
The different trainings that Focus gives you, especially just before you join STEM, I think one, they really help you prepare psychologically, one, for the change of many things that are going to happen into your life. So even when you land to your station, you actually come in here with that realization or desire, or even just that you have a clue that things are going to be difficult or things are going to not be the typical way you are used to doing things. And so it sort of helps you adjust your psychology and actually know that you're actually going to meet people that you'll have to blend with for you to be effective. So I would say, one, it helps you prepare psychologically, but also the other part is, you're given materials which you actually have to go through them and read so that you can have a better perspective of things.
As STEM staff wear different hats in the Christian Union. They offer guidance and advisory roles to the CU. They are also trainers, mentors, preachers and counselors, among other roles.
Having conversations with students and seeing how a student will come to me for a mentorship or even with questions, and how I'm able to respond to them and guide them, and seeing the change and the transformation that happens, how they grow, they improve in their commitments. If it's a leader, for example, how I worked with them and seeing them stable in leadership, that has been something for me. But also to mention, I have had an experience where I hosted half the church of us in my STEM house, and I think that really meant a lot for me, because it's a skill that I had been struggling with a little bit, to just have conversations with the students, because they are quite busy, they are lawyers, and they are also non-residents, so it's quite tricky to find them. But for them coming to my house for lunch, having a conversation with them, sharing lunch, for them learning from each other.
Through the STEM program, the participants identify their gifts and calling and have opened doors to other ministry in church, parachurch organization, governance and marketplace.
First is I have grown as a graphics designer in the aspect that I would now work under pressure sometimes to deliver work and not to be carried away by the pressure. And a skill I think that I have learned is being keen on details when it comes to focus production, because we would want the information that goes out to the people. It's very clear, and you do not want it to have errors.
Well, to start with, in the staff orientation and training, it's 2 weeks training, back-to-back training sessions we had, and it is there where my public speaking skills were shaped and sharpened. The ability to develop concepts of trainings. I didn't actually think that trainings have concepts, and I just thought that people would go to trainings and just invite speakers to speak of any topic. But I understand that there's a lot of groundwork, if I would say, that is done before the day of the training or the day of the entire week of trainings. And my ability to plan for a training and take part in trainings to train other individuals has been shaped.
Some major skills that I have gotten from working in the office has been interpersonal skills, as working in the Department of Associates calls for a lot of communication and passing information and hearing people out, but also time management and self-planning, as I need to manage CU work but also the office work. So this has helped me in planning out, this is CU time and this is associates work that I need to accomplish within this time. This has helped me to not get overwhelmed by work, but to be effective and productive in my work.
I feel like I'm coming from a theology school, yes. Also because of this Christian Union that I went to, and I'm so excited about theology. I didn't know that I was when I got there, and there are issues that were being discussed. I was so excited, getting to really get deep into the Word of God, getting to understand the whys behind the Word of God, getting to be challenged by speakers and students. There is one, Eunice. Eunice had a million questions for me concerning where do we go after we die. STEM, I saw this and this video, could you explain it with biblical basis? STEM, there's this song, STEM, there is this. And so it also pushed me into apologetics, getting to really teach myself now about apologetics so that I can teach Eunice. She's a very good friend of mine. And so it pushed me to learning more, not being just the average Christian.
I don't know the people that have, interacted with STEM stuff. I don't know if we didn't have such a program with Focus, if those many people that have been touched, whose lives have been touched, if they would actually, be sharing the testimonies that they have. If STEM didn't exist, I don't know who would be training those many students in Bible studies, in best peace, in discipleship classes, in all those leadership trainings. I am not quite sure. If STEM didn't exist, I don't know who students could be running to when they just need to go for a sleepover. Randomly, they wake up and they're like, we really want to go and unwind this weekend. I don't know what they would do. STEM for me, STEM is an experience. If STEM didn't exist, I don't know how my 2022-2023, the period that I've been here, I don't know how it would look. But now, STEM as a program, I am so grateful.
This program has caused a lot of impact over the 31 years. First, we thank the Lord that we have been able to produce more than 700 people, and it has met its envisioned goals. One of them is producing more staff to this ministry. Looking at the current staff team, we have more than 90% who have gone through the STEM program, and that means that many students have been able to be mentored, to be discipled, for better Christian even engagement in this society. Number two, we have been able to produce many mature leaders who have been able to serve in the church and even in the society, and that has caused lots of impact. Wherever they go, they are able to do lots because they have been developed through the program, and generally being able to respond even to the issues that are happening even in our country, and we believe that many lives of students have been impacted through this program.
This year's cohort had 46 participants spread out in our CUs in our 7 region. We join them in celebrating God's faithfulness for the past 1 year, and we celebrate all those who have gone through the program in the past 31 years.
31 years of
Developing leaders
and transforming lives through the STEM program.
STEM, developing leaders and transforming lives.